Hello my friends, Mr. Evan here, and I'm so excited to be joining you again for another edition of Storytime here at the Colorado Railroad Museum. This month we have an exciting book called All Aboard the Spooky Express, a Halloween thrill ride. And let's get started. And this book is written by Eric James. We were out trick-or-treating, my best friend and I, when we saw a huge shape swooping down from the sky. It circled around us on train tracks of mist. Then it came to a stop, and its large pistons hissed. What a marvelous train! An engine black as the night. All its carriages glowed with ghostly green light. And we both held our breath when its loud whistle blew, for the sound that it made was a ghastly woo-woo. The door opened wide. A conductor appeared with a cheery old smile that was not to be feared. He said, "Spooky Express, hop aboard, take a ride." How exciting, we thought, and we climbed up inside. When we looked around, what a wonderful sight! We saw ghosts to our left, we saw ghouls to our right. There were mummies in tatters, and witches in hats, and ogres and werewolves and vampire bats. There were bony old skeletons towering in size, and alien creatures with bright, bulging eyes. A voice on the speaker said, "Please hold tight." Then the train gave a lurch and launched into the night. We glided along through a dark, stormy sky, and we watched as the streets far below us whizzed by. We zipped over cities with all their bright lights. We glimpsed roads and rivers from dizzying heights. The ride was fantastic. But where were we going? We sped ever onwards with no signs of slowing. "Next stop, the lagoon," said the train's engineer. "Make room for the creatures who swim aboard here." He slammed on the brakes, and I thought we would crash. But we dropped like a stone, and the whole train went splash. We left the lagoon for another strange stop, up a really tall building on the side near the top. Then inside a mountain where big ogres dwell. Then down in old sewers, oh, the sewer folk smell. As we raced to our next stop, the train turned too fast, and I saw a pumpkin through the window, and it whizzed past. The ghost started howling. "What happened?" I said. "We're doomed!" cried a witch. "That's the engineer's head!" If the engineer's headless, he can't steer the train. For his head's where he keeps both his eyes and his brain. He yanked levers forward, he jerked levers back. The train started wobbling all over the track. We swerved around buildings, we darted past trees. The speed of the turns made us weak at the knees. While everyone panicked, I stood up and said, "With the help of some friends, we can go get that head." "Miss Witch," I said calmly, "your broom, if I may. Miss Spider, Miss Dragon, let's go save the day." The engineer's head was somewhere in the park. "Miss Dragon," I said, "will you light up the dark?" "It's there," said my friend. "It's directly below. But it's down in the mud, and it's stuck there. Oh no!" I turned to Miss Spider. "Please spin us some thread. I've got an idea. We will lasso that head." We twirled it around, threw it over the top, and we pulled the head free with a squench and a pop. Then back we all flew through the wind and the rain, with the pumpkin containing the engineer's brain. With his head in our hands, we jumped back on the train, and we stuck his head onto his shoulders again. He pulled a few levers, the ghost train slowed down. Do you know where we were? We were back in our town. The ghost started howling, this time with delight. And the gnomes hugged an alien a little too tight. The wizard shot sparks that were orange and green, and they cried, "Well done, children, you've saved Halloween." We'd be stuck on this train had you not been so daring. But now we can stop in each town and go scaring. We jumped off the train, none the worse for our fright. This had certainly been the best Halloween night. The train started moving, its large pistons hissed. It circled around us on train tracks of mist. It launched itself skyward, its loud whistle blew, and the sound that it made was a friendly woo, woo. The end. Happy Halloween. And that completes the story this week, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me today for story time here at the Colorado Railroad Museum. Now we join my friend Roni for an exciting craft. We'll see you next time.
Hi everyone, this is Roni here at the Colorado Railroad Museum. Happy Halloween! As you can guess, we're going to do a craft for Halloween, and that goes with the book, All Aboard the Spooky Express. Now, if you remember anything about the story, you remember that our engineer lost his head because he was a jack-o'-lantern. And so we're going to make a pumpkin to represent the jack-o'-lantern's head. Pretty cute. This is what you're going to need for the project. One orange piece of paper, some crayons, ruler, pencil, hole punch, scissors, and last but not least, our Chanel stick. Okay, let's get started. So mine does not have a lot of texture in it, but I thought it would be a good idea if we did. So we're going to take our pumpkin and we're going to add some different colors in it. So I got 3 different crayons. I thought I'd start with a little bit more orange. You could just scribble and have fun. You could maybe make some dots on there. Whoops, I'm using parts of my crayon. Here's a little bit of brown. If you kind of look at some of the pumpkins that are around, they're not perfect. They have a little bit of all kinds of colors. And some green. Because not all pumpkins turn orange exactly the same way. Whoop. There. Now we need to make the strips to make our pumpkin. What we're going to do is going to measure out. And I'm doing a little bit of cheating. I'm just doing the width of the ruler. Following it up. You know, sometimes we want things really perfect, but like we said earlier, pumpkins aren't. So if they're a little wonky here and there, it's okay. This makes it more fun. All right. I liked the story. It made me laugh. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. One more should do. Okay, there we go. Okay, so when I was making this at home, I thought it would be fun to just put the holes on the sides first, so we can do this without making too many goofball things. So put a hole on each end of a strip. Again, I don't know if they're going to be perfect, but that's okay. We're going to have a fun little pumpkin to play with. And there's your holes on the sides. Now we're going to cut the strips out. Okay. Make sure that if you are little, you get a little bit of help from mom and dad, or grandma, grandpa, or aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, whoever you're having fun with at home. But if you are a little older, go ahead and cut the strips out. Watch your fingers, of course. Just keep cutting straight through. By the way, I have my little cat ears on, but I don't know if that's what I'm going to be for Halloween. I'm still thinking, because our trick-or-treat train is coming up on the 24th and 25th, so I got to get my costume ready for that day. I hope you can join us. Okay, here we go. Almost there. You know, you're probably thinking, how is this going to turn into a pumpkin? Kind of a fun way to do this. Watch your fingers. I almost got mine right there. Sorry about that. Okay. The scissors away. Now, put all your strips together. And I'm going to try to get more than one done at a time. We'll see if it works. You're going to have to make a hole in the middle as well. There. Now here's where the magic starts. Now you take your chenille stick and you thread all of them. Oh, one more thing. You have to make a loop so that they don't fall all the way through. And you tie it in there. And I kind of smooshed it down a little bit. Now you're just going to thread all of them through in the middle. You can make them go zigzaggy. Get them all in there. Oh, let me turn it the other way. Sorry, guys. Because if you do it the other way, you're not going to see all the work that you did before that. Okay. So now you have a big fan of strips. Now this is the fun part that happens. You start putting all of these through on the sides. You're just kind of sewing it through. And you can start seeing how it's starting to turn into an oval the more you put in. I know, it's hard to see at first, but the more you get, on there, the better it looks. Oh, here we go. 2 more. There. There we go. Now to finish off and make sure that they all stay on, kind of squish it down a little bit. Make an oval. You can fiddle around with it a little bit. Make a loop. Twist it around. And then take your pencil again and turn it around on the pencil to make it curly. There. Now you could probably still fiddle around with it, make it more roundish or oval, whatever you want for your pumpkin. And then you have your pumpkin for your jack-o'-lantern that happens to fall off in the story, All Aboard a Spooky Express. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next month, and you have a happy, safe Halloween. Bye!
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Commenting and sharing in particular may qualify as virtual engagements for important funding programs like the SCFD.